Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Tuesday, July the 6th, 2021, and this is my Flosstube episode number 15. I would first like to thank and welcome all of the new subscribers to my channel. If someone shouted me out or you were recommended to me by another Flosstuber, please let me know in the comments so that I can publicly thank them. If you are stopping by for the first time to check out my videos and to see what I'm all about, I appreciate it, and hopefully you will like and subscribe to the channel. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you so very much for your weekly participation and comments and liking the stitching that I'm doing. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I feel like I have all of these friends that I just haven't seen their faces yet, and it really makes me happy to put up these videos and look for the comments from you that comment every week or every time I put up a video. So thank you so very much. I really do appreciate all of you. I have really been on a stitching frenzy this week since July. So June the 28th was my last Flosstube, and Jolly July started on the 1st. And I went over my plans for Jolly July in that video. So I have really done well and have been sticking to it. So we're going to get right into what I've been up to these last few days. So I don't have any finishes, and I only have one WIP that I worked on for this time. And it was my Stitch for Sweet Freedom, and I had wanted to work on her on Sunday, July the 4th, but I made a error on what I was stitching on, and thanks to all the I was on the Zoom with Garon Stitchery when I made this huge error, and so I just stayed on and took it all out and decided to stitch on a Stitch for Sweet Freedom yesterday, and that's what I did. And so as you can see, I started her sleeve, and I thank everyone that gave me comments and suggestions about the sleeve. The problem that I had is that when I originally kitted this up, they were out of the cherry cobbler, and so they said you could just use the DMC. So when I started using the DMC and didn't see the striping in her blouse, I was like, I'm doing something wrong. And as it turned out, I actually had the cherry cobbler and the DMC color together and just didn't think to use the cherry cobbler. So I will be stitching on her again on the 19th. She's going to be my the 19th day project, so that I can get her completed. I don't know that it'll be this year. I would love it to be this year since I've had her for so long. But we're going to just stick to that plan for right now. Sorry, I've got floss fluff on my shirt. We're going to stick with that plan for right now and see how far I can get along. Yesterday was a difficult day, and so I didn't get as much work in on her as I had wanted to. I had a lot of things going on. So that was my one WIP for this week. So since I only had that one WIP, I decided that since I'm doing Jolly July, that I would show you some of my previous finishes from Jolly July, Christmas and July stitching. And so these that I'm about to show you all came out of the Lizzie K. When I started stitching in 2019, it was on the tail end of she was retiring, you know, still putting out charts. So I was able to get a few of the charts. So that's what I did. So all of the ones that I'm going to show you are out of this booklet flyer. And it is called the Tiny Tidings 15, number 145. And so here is, and they are all stitched on the same 14 count Aida. And I believe this came from Hobby Lobby. I don't know which one. I don't know what the name of it was. It's very dark though. So Feliz Navidad. And oh, maybe I should just do them on the other side. Feliz Navidad. And this one is Dear Santa, I Can Explain. And then Feeling Festive. And I'm on the Nice List. And when I started stitching in 2019, I didn't really have an idea about finishing. Now, I believe that I could make these all into a flat fold or a pillow. I am going to work on getting these finished. In total, I have 15 Christmas finishes. And I just need to finish them, fully finish them, so they're not sitting in a bag, just collecting. They're not collecting dust because they're in a bag, but I need to get them finished so that I can display them or give them as gifts. I do apologize. I am having a ears, nose kind of situation, so I hope I'm not talking too loud, but I will be taking sips every now and again. So let's get started with the Jolly Julys. I made a conscious effort this month to be very organized because I always feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. So I wrote down all the information that I needed and put them on little cards. I got everything kitted. I got all of the fabric cut and zigzagged and all of that. And it has really been helpful to me this month. And so going forward, that is what I'm going to try to I'm going to stick to that because it has been just so, it has flowed so much better instead of me trying to figure out, oh, okay, what am I going to do to make this work? You know, when the magazine monthly information comes out, so like for July, I was right on top of it. When she posted it, I printed it and I immediately started looking for projects. And I need to do that every month because this month has so far, I know we're only 6 days in, but it has flowed so smoothly for me. So on the very first day of July, and I'm going to go through my cross stitch also so you'll see. Sorry, I got all kinds of stuff up here. So the theme for the magazine monthly challenge group is Christmas in July. And so again, I chose Beachy Little Christmas. You need to go lay down. Go lay down. A Beachy Little Christmas. And I am stitching this on a 28 count white even weave. Yeah. And so I have been, what I've been doing is one, you know, like this was on the first, and so I stitched on it on the first of the month, you know, for as long as I could, and this is where I got to. That's a thread that I have hanging back there. That's what you see in the shadow. Now Albert's got me all discombobulated. And that is the sun you see coming through the window. But it has been really fun, and I have really enjoyed stitching on the even weave. I've really, really enjoyed it. So that was Beachy Little Christmas, which I thought was perfect for a Christmas in July piece. Okay, so now on the second day of Christmas, okay, I had in my Caroline Evertote bag that I got last year as a Christmas gift for myself. On the second, I stitched Holly Jolly Holiday. And that is by Heart and Hand. And this is where I stitched on it for one day, and this is where I finished that one day. Now, this is on a 16 count Charles Craft Ada from Joann's, and I am using the called for flosses. So that's where I am, and you can see I have almost gotten the tree completed, and the 25 is completed. I need to do the back stitching for December and put the cardinal on. When I pick this up again later on, in about a week probably, I'm going to go ahead and finish the tree, and then I'm going to come down here and do this deer, so that I'll have that and the cardinal and this other little snowflake, so that I will have that whole side done. And you know, if time permits, through the end of the month, I can get the other side started. I want to get as much done on these projects so that I can have a good point. I'll be at a good point in October, November, so that I can have them finished. Pardon me. My next project was for July the 3rd, and it was Oh Gosh, Oh by Gosh. And so Holly Jolly for the acrostic is the J, because it has the jolly in it. Pardon me. And then this is the O in jolly. And this is being stitched on an 18 count Ada with one thread. And it is a big difference stitching with one thread. It takes some getting used to. I'm still, as you can see, like I don't have as much done on this one as I do on the other, because I was struggling with the one thread. In my head, I thought, "Woo, one thread, that'll be easy," and I was like, "Oh, okay." However, my light has really been helpful, and so once I get into a better flow with using the one strand, I'm sure it'll pick up a little bit. So this is Oh by Gosh by Heart and Hand. And that was day 2 and 3. They are both in the same bag since they're smaller. And I am going to be, you see, I got to stay organized, so I'm going to be keeping them putting them right back the way that, so that I don't have a big mess at the end, and then I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. So this is the project that I was working on Sunday in the Zoom, and it is Love and Joy, and it is by October House Fiberworks. And I love this pattern. It came out at the expo that they had, and I loved it the minute I saw it. And I am stitching this on a 28 count light gray even weave, and I'm using the called for DMC. So this is where I am with this right now. I had stitched this whole motif, flower, poinsettia, right there. However, I had stitched it over here. And I was done. Like, I was like, woo, I'm done. And then I went to go start the next part and was like, I cannot believe. I mean, in the total wrong space. Totally in the wrong space. Not one stitch off, not none of that. In the wrong spot. So I took it all out and put in this vine, and that goes all the way down to where the pot is, and then I put in the half part of this. I was working on this like I said, on the 4th of July, and it wasn't going as well as I thought it was, because my neighbors literally right next door were shooting fireworks, big fireworks off. And so Albert was having a conniption fit, and so I had to keep, stopping to get him calmed back down, and it was crazy. But that's where I am so far on that one. Which brings me, that was July the 4th. So now this is July the 5th, and it is in my Garon toting bag. Oh, my little mini bag. These are a great bag. This is a great bag size for smaller projects. I have a whole this bag right now is holding Stitch Card Set G by Lori Holt of B in my bonnet. And it's holding the whole set. I started this. So she has 3 different sizes of fabric suggestions for these patterns. And I started with the wreath. And I decided to do the 10 count Ada. I'm actually doing it on 11 count Ada. To see if I can make it into a elongated pillow, or I might have to cut them apart and make them individual ornaments or ornament pillows. But this is where, after one day, this is where I have gotten to. It's really strange to me how I have gone from the very first piece that I stitched on from Lori Holt was the Quilter's Cottage, and it was done on a 10 count. And then I was like, I don't like 10 count, I'm going to 14 count. And I stuck with 14 count. Then I was like, oh, let me try 16 count. And now I'm at 18 count and 25 count and 28 count. And it's a really, for me, it's a really interesting journey, because I tend to stick with things that I'm comfortable with. Once I get in a comfortable spot, it's pretty unusual for me to move out of that spot. So it's very interesting, but I am thankful. It's fun, and so that's what I want it to always be. So that was day number 5, and today's project is in a bag that I made myself. one of my favorite fabrics is grunge, and I love grunge, and so I have a lot of it too. It is Cool Yule by Hands On Design, and I am stitching this on a 14 count, very black. It is like the dark blackest fabric I've ever seen. 14 count Ada, and I am using the DMC colors for, I'm using the DMC, and it is 166, and it was 666, but I subbed out 666 for 418. And then for the white, I'm using the chalk because I have a lot of chalk from being in the Hand on Design Priscilla Blaine chalk series club. So this is where, ooh, you can really see through that. This is where I have gotten to today. Now, of course, the day isn't over yet, but by the time I probably finish this video and get it uploaded, I'll be going to bed. So this will be where I'll be stopping at. But I am really enjoying it also. For this, I am using a piece of batting on my lap so that I can see the holes better. This morning when I started it, I was using two lights, a light shining up and a light shining down, and that worked very well also. And I'm going to show you. So that, you know, she called for, this actually has a sulky pack, and then she used DMC conversion. And when I pulled the 666, it looked too pinky red to me, whereas on the picture it looks more cranberry-ish. So that's why I changed the colors, just that one color, and I really am enjoying it. So that's my Cool Yule, and that is my Jolly July. My Jolly July projects for this week. They will be, for the most part, I believe they're all going to be new starts. So as of right now, I have touched every single project for my cross stick and for the theme. And next week, I will show you where I get to on those. I do have a couple of others to throw in the mix, but I am happy with the fact that I have all of my monthly challenge pieces have been started, and they're in good spots, and so I'm really happy about that. So the WIPGO numbers have been called last week, and I did pull my WIPGO pieces. So the number 2, the numbers were 2. Oh, I wrote that down. 2 and 12. Yes. And so my number 2. And I've also changed my goals again because life is too short and I'm not going to be unhappy because I made unrealistic goals in my mind. And so I was like, you know, I'm going to do my hobby the way that I want to do it. So this month, the goal is I will be stitching my WIPGO pieces on Wednesday, WIPGO Wednesdays, and number 2 will be stitched on the 7th and the 21st of this month, and I will do 4 hours each day. So on tomorrow, I'll do 4 hours, and then on the 21st, I'm going to do 2 hours. 4 hours. I'm looking at number 2. 4 hours on the 7th and 4 hours on the 21st. I actually started this project back in January it was Bringo. And so we had all these projects, and this was one of my Bringo starts. And it is called, and I can't really show you a picture because it came from Etsy. But it is called Turtle. And the name of the Etsy shop is Modern Cross Stitch Art. And I will link that below. It is stitched on and yes, I know which way is up. This his little flipper, and then he has another flipper here. This is his tail, and so he literally goes this way up the fabric, and so that's how I'm stitching it. So it's not upside down or backwards or anything. But that's where I finished at when we did this back in January for Bringo. And so I will be doing 4 hours on him starting tomorrow. And it is one of those pieces where it has different colors, but all of I'm going to. So this is the part where I am stitching it out. And trust me, you're not going to be able to. You can try, I guess, maybe. Look, I can barely do it, and I have it sitting right here with staring me in the face. So I am right here working on this flipper, and then I'll go up, and so it's all geometric, almost like half square triangles and blocks. So it's a lot of start and stop. I literally, when I worked on this in January, I loaded a couple of needles with the different colors within those sections, and that is how I was able to get it stitched with a flow more so, which really did help a lot. So that is this week's WIPGO, and then my next WIPGO, which I'm going to show it, I won't be working on it until the 14th, is, I didn't print out the cover page. I got this off her website, but it is a cross stitch nation by Heartstring Samplery, and I'll just show you my little bitty start. That is my little bitty start. I don't even know what this is. I mean, I guess I could. Oh, it's the top. It's the top of the banner of the flowers that is going across, and so I need to look and see what date I actually put those little. It's probably 15 stitches in. So it'll be interesting to see what 8 hours of work we'll do for this particular piece. I have a whole lot of pieces started like that. It'll have 5, or not even 5. It'll have more than 5. It just won't have any real work put into it. Especially if I was doing it for the Bringo challenge. Well, no, because we had to put in at least 100 stitches or 1 hour for that. And they are bringing that back for 2022, and so I'm going to be really excited to see what kind of little twists and turns they put on for it. I'm sorry, one of the flosses fell out of the bag, and so I'm just making sure that I put it all back where it goes. So I have very little haul this week. So I just today received my floss frenzy from Fat Quarter Shop. I am in the floss frenzy, and I can't think of what that one is. It's the Classic Color Works. And so this month it is my favorite color, purple. And so the first one is well, so this is what they all look like, all wound up together. And then the colors are lilac, Peoria purple, amethyst, iris, ultraviolet, and purple rain. And if you remember me doing the whole purple rain, purple rain. And so now I got 2 skeins of it and I'm so happy. I actually want to stitch, there is a shop on Etsy that has prints, his profile is a picture of him. It's an older, when he did Purple Rain. And I need to buy that chart and start stitching on it. I also, Rebel Stitcher, she has a Facebook group. She also has an Instagram, and it is Rebel Stitcher Designs. She makes needle minders, and she also sells stickers. And so sorry. She posted these stickers, and I was like, oh, I gotta get those. Now I don't know what I'm gonna use these for. But I am a collector of many things, and so I don't really have to have a purpose for it. It's funny, all of them have, the bulk of them have afros, and here I'm trying to decide if I want to cut all my hair off again. She's beautiful. And then the other one is Black Lives Matters. I was hoping, last week on Just Keep Stitching, Stephanie was talking about she was going to show her book this past Sunday, but they had a lot of stuff and she didn't show it. So maybe when she does, I'll know like how to make up these little books that everybody's doing. It's a great value. There's like 10 stickers in the packages, and they are all different sizes. And she has different themes. So I've already seen the beach theme one that I want to get. She's got another one. And again, I had her linked last week, and I will have her linked again this week. And then I went to, so, I was working on getting all of my Jolly July kitted up. And so I realized that if it called for a 14 count Ada, of course I have a ton of 14 count Ada, but I was like, I need to continue working on the 28, 25 count so that I can keep that eye, because now I'm really getting good about just doing the 2. So I did go to Hobby Lobby and I picked up this. Ooh, Gary's probably having a fit. She need to take it out of that plastic. So I did pick up this. It's washing it out. This is a very light blue, There you go. That's it. Light blue 28 count for a potential start for Jolly July. And then I also picked up this. Now they called it ivory. It have to be it must be the darkest ivory that's ever been made, because to me it looks more tan, and that is being washed out. But it's a lot darker than ivory in my opinion. So I picked those up, and then Michael's was having their clearance sale, and so I picked up some pride beads, and I picked up a whole yard of pride fabric. And then I was amazed. They had this piece, and it was like $3. And this, I'm going to paint the rainbow, and I might put a light whitewash on the actual wood piece down here. But this is my finishing. Look, I already know what it is. This is the finishing piece for the progressive flag that I am stitching by MI Creates Designs or Studios, and I couldn't be any more pleased. I am going to paint, each one of the rainbow arcs in the color that it should be, and put a light, and I can literally sticky board it to the piece and just leave it mounted like that. So I was ecstatic when I found that. They are having a great clearance sale, and they are still having a clearance sale. So, and then I got this for a finishing piece. It wasn't quite what I was looking for, but it was like $3. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just see if I can make that work. So that was that. And then they had some of their jewelry making pieces on clearance also. So I picked up these little bobblies because with kitting up all these projects and everything, I need zipper pulls or just accoutrement or whatever, however they say it, accoutrement. So I picked those up, and I have a lot of bead making. I've been in a whole lot of different crafts, and I have a whole lot of stuff. So that was my haul part. So my plans for next week, because my plan is to come back actually on the 12th and record again. I am going to keep going with my daily starts for Jolly July. I'm going to put in my 4 hours starting tomorrow for my WIPGO, the turtle piece. And I'm going to contemplate 3 additional new starts for Jolly July. I just need to make sure that I'm pacing myself. I don't want to get overwhelmed, and I want to make sure that I'm making my acrostic goals. Pardon me, my theme and acrostic goals before I add too much more onto my plate. I figure, I'm not going anywhere. If I start them, great. If I don't start them until October, that's great too. So I just want to make sure that I'm really enjoying this process that I started, and so I need to make sure that I stay ahead of all the things, because I could have had 20 projects picked out for Jolly July because I like stitching Christmas. I like stitching, period. So it doesn't really matter. I don't think I have a style. I'm pretty eclectic with what I decide to stitch. And so stitching is what makes me happy. I need to get back to quilting, though. I have projects that I need to get completed for Christmas gifts that will be coming up. So I'll be trying to squeeze some of that in also. I hope you all are faring and dealing with the heat is as well as can be expected. I finally broke down yesterday and had to turn on my air conditioner. It was 90 degrees in my house, and it was 95 outside. So I was like, okay, enough is enough. Turn on the air conditioner. Albert is not very pleased about that because he can't just go on the sun porch whenever he feels like it because the door is now closed. But, all things, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And so the air is on and the door is closed. I'm having a really good week. I am looking forward to going down to Keepsakes on Saturday and hanging out with my tribe. I haven't seen anyone since StitchCon, so it'll be good to go down and stitch with them and see everybody and catch up on what's the goings on is. And I think that's all for this week. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I know time is very precious. There are a lot of great Flosstubers, yard work, flowers, gardening, all of that, all of those other things you could be doing. But I appreciate that you have taken a few moments out of your day to spend them with me. And I will see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.